Becca, did you purposely wear your Star Wars shirt today?
This is my nice shirt. I was in an assembly. Mom said you gotta dress up. I said okay.
Love it. Love it. Is this gonna be the new Spider-Man shirt?
My Spider-Man shirt is so thin and so worn down. You can't see the Spider-Man on it, and there's like holes in the back. It's like see-through on the sleeves. Like I've never seen a shirt that worn through.
This is what
But
I'm saying. I think the last time I saw you, you were wearing that shirt as well. So is this gonna be your new go-to shirt?
yeah.
Becca, it's been a minute since we recorded something. I've got quite a few things to tell you.
Really?
First off, and probably the most shocking to me, I was at work, and as you
As
know,
you
I work
do.
as I do. I work in a grocery store and in a bakery, and we have bagels that you can just, take one bagel or whatever. And there's a couple different flavors. One of the flavors is green chili. And the guy, he's like, "Can I ask you a question?" I'm like, "Sure." He goes, what is the flavor of green chili?" I was like it's like spicier, but it's not as spicy as a jalapeno. He was like, "Oh, so like a green bell pepper?" And I was like, "No, it's more than a bell pepper, but like less than jalapeno somewhere in there." And he was just like so confused. And I was like, I would guess he was in his 40s. And so I was just thinking like, what grown man? He's like, "Oh, I just never heard of this before." And I was like, "What grown man has never heard of a green chili?"
I was talking with one of my coworkers yesterday. He's like, what, late 30s, I would say. We were talking, and he was talking about annoying songs, and he was like, "Ah, I have this. I can't remember what his song was, but he was like, what's the most annoying song you've ever heard?" And a different coworker of mine was like, "Baby Shark," and he's like, "I've never heard of that." And I'm like, "You've never heard of Baby Shark? Isn't that the most watched video on YouTube?
I
Something
don't
like
think
that."
it's yeah,
It's one of them up there. But like,
yeah.
you never heard of Baby Shark? You
I
never heard
was
of
thinking to
green
myself,
chili?
like, is this another pesto situation? We're just like I don't know if we've talked about it on here before, but like our family is aware of what pesto is and eats pesto often. And we've had conversations of like a lot of people have no idea what pesto is, have never had it, like no clue. So is it
Continues
like
to blow my mind though. That's like, I feel like okay, we don't eat out a lot,
mm,
or really even a ton, I think. But I feel like if you go to a place that has pasta, they have pesto pasta. Like that's regular, or like a pesto sandwich, or like,
I'd
we have pesto
say
at my work. Like,
yeah. I'd say pesto like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's more on like the fancier side. If you go to like fast food or like something just really quick and easy, there's not going to be pesto there. But like, so I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, if you guys have never had pesto, comment comment that you never had and your age because we are so curious of like
yeah,
when pesto hits your
we
hits your
did.
guys'
I don't know if
lives.
we've talked about this on the pod or if it's just like a thing that we've talked about before repeatedly, but I did a survey with several of my friends, several of my younger sister's friends, and then I think it was our neighbors at the time or something. I don't know. But like, it was like 30, 40 people we asked, and only two of them knew of pesto. And of the two that knew pesto, one of them hated it, and one of them eats it according to them daily. So
It's wild.
I
It's
don't know about
wild.
this.
But I feel like a green chili is more widely known than pesto.
I agree, but I also think people assume green chili or jalapeno.
Yeah,
You know,
but it's not as spicy. Anyway, it's a different
I
thing.
always assumed like the green chilies and bagels were just like were jalapenos that like didn't make the spicy scale. Like it's not like a green chili pepper. It's a jalapeno that like they just like old jalapenos or
A
like
wannabe jalapeno.
yeah they didn't make the cut. They made it in the bagel.
I see.
Because where you
Yeah,
be finding green chilies other places? Salsa? That's it. Green chili
salsa,
salsa? That's isn't
enchilada.
that tomatillo though? It's green chili salsa, which is not the green chili that's in bagel.
What? No, wait, what?
When you buy green chili salsa that's like
Hmm.
green, isn't that
Yeah.
just tomatillo salsa?
Well, I think there's several different kinds, like chili verde. I feel like would be green chili, maybe a combo of all of this. But like like if you're doing green chili sauce in like enchiladas, I think that's green. Those are green chilies.
Okay.
You know? Maybe? Question mark?
You haven't convinced me, but like I get your side.
Okay. Well, on a completely different note, and something that I think you're gonna just agree with.
Really? On this show?
I what?
On this show?
Yeah, yeah. I been working on my puzzle. So of course, been watching movies, whatever. Favorite thing to put on, musical, because then if I'm not really paying attention, there's still music on in the background. So I was going through a lot of musicals, and I was like, you know what musical I haven't watched, but like I know some songs from it, and I like those couple songs. Let's watch this. Matilda. I could not
The
finish.
musical Matilda? Like the
Yeah, the musical
Netflix?
movie.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
I've seen bits of it.
Okay. I could not finish it. I couldn't do it. I didn't even make it.
I this is we're okay. I like the movie Matilda. I like the general story of Matilda. I didn't really like the book, but I don't tend to like Roald Dahl books. Uh, but I strongly dislike the musical Matilda. The musical is where I don't like it performed live. I watched every bit of the movie, the Netflix movie I saw. I disliked. Not a fan. Not a fan.
Yep. I know like the revolting children song and then the like when I'm older song and my house song.
Yeah,
So I was like, oh, we should I'm gonna check this out. No. Absolutely not. Couldn't finish. Not good. No.
those songs are
What
kind of
did it for
okay.
me? Oh, what put me over the edge was Miss Trunchbull. Oh, it was bad. It was so bad.
I
And
was in. You were in this musical too, but we were in. Me and Hannah were in kind of a like a mashup musical that our community put on,
uh,
and I was in several Matilda songs, and Hannah wasn't in any. Like I was in. They did When I Grow Up, and then
mm,
they did another one that was Matilda, but it wasn't Revolting Children. I'm not sure, but I remember listening to the London Broadway, the London cast of Matilda when I grow up, where there's like several people singing over and over and over,
mm.
and then I actually went and saw Matilda, and I was like, this is not what I came for. This is not what I wanted.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I was like, I thought of you when I was like, nope, we're done. We're done with this. I was like, Becca is gonna agree so wholeheartedly with this.
Not a fan of Matilda.
Yeah. But I've also been listening to Broadway soundtracks that I haven't listened to before. Um, really just trying to build up that musical playlist. So I listened to Shucked first.
Really? That surprises me most. Hannah listened to
Why?
Shucked? Because when we were watching the Tonys You would not stop making fun of it. We're like, shucked? What is this?
Duck.
Did I say shucked? What a
I
terrible.
will
This guy
say,
spent
yeah.
8 years on this music. You listen to the one song. Shucked? That's funny.
Yeah.
I have not heard
Um,
shucked.
yeah. I kind of had, I mean, I don't really know the story 100%. I know corn is involved and people have to come and like save the corn or save the town with the corn or something. So I was
That's as
like,
much as I know, and I've listened to none of it.
and I was like, well, that was like, yeah. So I was like, I don't really know about this. I added two of the songs from that playlist, from that soundtrack to my playlist. Maybe Love, masterpiece. I love that song.
Masterpiece.
It's so good. And then another soundtrack that I listened to was Hell's Kitchen. You familiar?
I've heard of it. I've never heard it.
Okay. Hell's Kitchen, written by Alicia Keys. You familiar?
I know, again, I know Alicia Keys. Did not know she was involved.
Yeah, she's a singer. She did the songs and stuff, which there are songs. I'm not like a huge Alicia Keys fan, so I'm not super familiar with her all of her stuff. Anyways, all of her stuff, but I know some very famous songs by Alicia Keys, and some of those songs were in the play. So I was like, is this a jukebox music? Like, is this a Mamma Mia type thing with only Alicia Keys songs? Or is this just like she added some of those songs in because the story of Hell's Kitchen is about Alicia Keys. It's like based on Alicia Keys'
Oh,
life.
that would make sense if it was had those songs.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if all of the songs are already Alicia Keys songs or if she just added in the famous ones because it is her life story. Tried to look it up for about 10 seconds and then I just gave up. I didn't really care, but there were some good ones from that one. I'd probably re-listen to that soundtrack again. And based off the soundtrack, I probably would go see. So there's that. Um, and the last thing, actually, well, yeah, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up because I know we talked about it a little bit. Tron.
That was forever ago.
Me and oh yeah, because you have rescheduled and rescheduled and rescheduled.
I'm a busy bee. Listen,
Whatever, whatever. Um, Tron. I've seen Tron. The new Ares, Tron Ares, teaser trailer came out. Bikes in the real world. Crazy. What's going on there? So I was hanging out with my friend and I was like, "Hey friend, um, you like Tron?" And she was like, "I don't know what Tron is." And I was like, "What? You don't know what Tron is?" So then I was
there's
telling
a
her
lot
about,
of been like, what? What?
yeah,
You don't know this?
you don't know
I
Tron?
I feel like when I do that, because people do it to me so often, I feel like everybody but me knows everything. So
Mm.
then I'm like, what? You don't know this thing that I didn't know either until recently?
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like she is somebody who would know Tron,
Oh, there it
but
is.
she didn't. She had no idea. So I told her about Tron and she was like, "We should watch this movie." And I was like, "Okay, say less." So we had a Tron movie night. We went to her house and watched Tron, the old Tron. And I thought I knew what was going on in Tron because in
There's
my
like
mind,
bikes and lacrosse
yeah,
and
yeah.
like
In my mind,
fun.
Tron and Tron Legacy are the same story, essentially. Just one is the guy, and then Legacy is the guy's son. I would say if you're trying to break down the plot, like explain it in like one sentence, that is true. However, we were watching the old Tron, and I was like, I don't remember a lot of this. Like, I only remember the in the game bits. and all of the stuff happening before it, I was like, I don't remember this at all. And then also the visuals are crazy.
I have seen both Trons, and I'm with you. I don't remember anything outside of the game, but I know that I've seen the first game, but I only remember, like, when I think of Tron, I only remember what the new Tron looks like.
Yeah. Old Tron is very of its time, and it's like the visuals are just like I just don't even know.
Hey,
Like,
that was high-tech stuff.
oh, for sure. At the time, it was amazing. But so my friend that I was watching with, she's currently a graphic designer, and she was like, I could make this movie. Um, but yeah, of its time, it was incredible, I'm sure. But the other thing was like the costumes, absolutely insane,
I don't remember the costumes.
insane.
I remember the helmets.
Hmm.
That's it.
Well, because
Don't
it's all
they?
that like the neon lights and stuff, and with the Neutron, like they have the technology to actually make it like that. But like it was just so funny. And then like there's a guy who's a giant like rock chair thing, and then it's just we were joking the whole time. We were like, we should be these guys for Halloween, which is my favorite bit, you know?
Did you get that from me? I
I
feel like
don't,
I say that all the time.
yeah, I don't
We
know.
should be these guys for
Or
Halloween.
did you get that from me?
I don't know. I don't
Hmm.
know when I started saying it. I
It's
would
the
like
chicken
to
and the
think it's
egg.
my bid, but you
It's the
never
chicken and
know.
the egg. Yeah, so Tron's great. We haven't watched Legacy yet, but hey, we will. We'll get to it eventually, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, actual topic for today. Star Wars Episode 1,
Wars.
Phantom Menace. I have gone down a deep, deep, deep Star Wars hole. I'm addicted. I cannot stop thinking about it. I I was like, because I was talking with my cousin who loves Star Wars, and there's the Ahsoka show. And who doesn't love Hayden Christensen? I know Hayden Christensen is in the Ahsoka show, but it takes place like after, like I don't know if it's after the sixth one or if it's into the newer ones. Takes place after The
Ghost Hayden
Mandalorian, I think.
Christensen?
Yeah, way post Hayden Christensen. So I
No,
was like, that's
Ghost Hayden
oh
Christensen.
Ghost. Yeah, yeah.
Question
Well, so I
mark.
was
I've never
confused. I was
seen
like,
Ahsoka.
I thought like way back when because I knew he was in it. And I was just like, oh, these must be oh my gosh, flashback situations like how they did in Kenobi, because he's also in Kenobi, and they do some flashbacks of as younger Anakin. Um, so I was like, these are just flashback situations. Well, guess what? They're not. They're taking, don't quote me, because again, I haven't seen it yet. So I was like, I need to know what happens with Ahsoka and Hayden and Anakin in Ahsoka. So I was like, I need to go back and rewatch everything in order. And then I was like, you know what? I haven't seen the Clone Wars either. So I was like,
I feel like that's kind of crucial. I've never seen Ahsoka, but I feel like in order to be associated with Ahsoka things, you gotta watch the Clone Wars.
yeah, Ahsoka is introduced in the Clone Wars. Um, so I think that's why when like the Ahsoka show came out, I was just like, I don't really, whatever, it's fine. And then, but so I'm slowly, here's the problem. The Clone Wars is 7 seasons long. And because I'm like addicted, I need to be watching all the other Star Wars things. So I'm simultaneously watching the Clone Wars as I continue on my rewatch. So, yeah, Phantom Menace, episode 1, where it all began. Yeah, I just wanted to let you in on the fact that I'm addicted now, currently, to Star Wars.
Okay. I have seen not all of the Star Warses. I have seen, okay, this, I have seen the first two times now. Because the first time I watched them, It was forever ago, and like I just watched them the one time because everyone told me they were terrible, but I was like, I gotta see them. And I remember watching them and then like forgetting about them. I rewatched them. The first one is not that bad. I didn't.
Okay.
Everyone was telling me it was terrible, and then I was actually talking to
Everyone,
some people
including you, every time I brought up the Phantom Menace, you were like, I hate the Phantom Menace.
because
I don't
I
want to watch
remember
it.
not liking it. I remember not liking it, but I also couldn't remember anything that wasn't like this pirate. Like I couldn't remember. Like I just remembered little bits that I didn't like, and but like I didn't remember the whole movie. The whole movie's not that bad. I kind of like the
Hmm.
whole movie. It's Star Wars. It's nice. I was then again talking to some people, like Dad, who were there when it came out, and I was talking to them, and I was like, you think the first ones are bad?" And they're like, "Yeah, we think the first ones are bad." Did you think that when they came out? And they were like, "No." When they were coming out, we were excited that there was new Star Wars, and then it was only later that they started disliking them, which I'd never heard before. But I had two people who told me that. So is that true? I'm not sure. I was negative years old when they came out, so
Yeah, I wasn't really around. Um, I think Phantom Menace came out 2000? Are you right?
2000, 2002, something like that.
1999.
1999.
So
So
I too
before
wasn't
your
around.
time.
Yeah. I know, I think Revenge of the Sith came out in like,
2005.
yeah, 2005. So I still wasn't going to the theaters to watch Anakin kill some younglings. Um,
I also unrelated to my rewatch. I had watched Revenge of the Sith
mm,
recently, but I'm gonna rewatch it for when we go back through it. But before that, I had seen it, but I had never seen it in English because when I watched the first two, I wasn't allowed to watch the third one. I don't know, like I was just told that I wasn't allowed to watch the third one. So I watched the first two, didn't watch the third one, forgot about it. Then when I was allowed to watch the third one, we would watch it in school, and I've seen it in German multiple times,
hmm.
but I've never had seen it in English until recently.
What
Very
does
similar. The
what's
German dub of
Obi's
Star Wars is
what's Obi-Wan's
incredibly similar.
speech in German?
It's a pretty good dub. It's incredibly similar. I was surprised.
That's so
I
funny.
think General Grievous sounds funny in German.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna get into it because oh my gosh. But everybody thinks of Revenge of the Sith for the Mustafar duel, but
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Okay, pause. Every time we talk about a trilogy or whatever, we always talk about the next one. Right now we're
Yeah,
talking about the first one. The
Phantom
first one.
Menace.
I forgot what's his name.
Qui-Gon Jinn,
Yeah, I forgot it was him.
Liam
Liam
Neeson.
Neeson. I
Yeah,
remember now. He's
we did
pretty
not
cool.
spend very much time with Qui-Gon, so
Okay, when he that's also not in the first one.
what? Oh,
No, it is in the first one.
Qui-Gon's only in the Phantom Menace. He dies at the
Yeah,
end.
he dies. So when he dies, fighting, cool lightsaber duel. Ha! Ching, 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 ching. Looks back. Obi-Wan stuck in the little whatever.
Hmm.
Ah, look, turns back. Shing! Right, and he just like stands there, and he gets stabbed right in the middle. And he's like,
Okay, there's some theories about this. Because when they have those little like laser doorways, whatever, they have to like stop and wait. And one of those, Qui-Gon sits on the floor and he's like
yeah,
doing his Jedi thing. People are like, I don't know if this is canon because again, I'm not fully in the deep dive of Star Wars yet. I don't know if this is canon, but there's theories where he's like, oh, what do they call it? He's like looking at the future, not like, but just like,
the vision
that,
stuff.
yeah, vision type
That like
situation where and so people are like, oh, he is seeing the outcomes of Anakin and how like Obi-Wan needs to teach him and all this stuff. And he's like, so he comes to the conclusion that he has to die in order for all of this to come to pass because he believes that Anakin is the chosen one. And so people think they're like, oh, because he's supposed to bring balance to the Force, which he does. And he does. Um, so he's like, oh, for Anakin to be the chosen one and bring balance to the Force, he has to die. So like that's the big theory of like, because Qui-Gon, Jedi Master, how could he fall so easily? But so I don't know. I don't know.
He
Thoughts?
he's a master, but he's not on the council,
He's on
right?
the council.
He is
Or
on the council. I don't think he's on the council.
I think
But
he's on the
if
council.
he's not on the council,
No, 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 no.
I think he has to be on the council because then Anakin wouldn't get upset when he wasn't on the council.
I
But
actually
in the whole first episode, Obi-Wan's like, if you would just listen to the council, this is why they won't put you on the council. This is like, but I feel
I
like
actually don't
he
think
has to be on the council because he's a master, right?
well, you can be
Or
a master without being on the council. Okay, he was not on the Jedi Council despite being a Jedi Master. He was offered a seat, but he chose to reject it instead of opting to follow. Okay, so because the Jedi Council has certain rules, so I think what it was is he declined being on the council because he kind of wanted to do his own thing,
oh,
but
okay,
he was
that
still a
makes
Jedi
sense.
Master.
Because when they make Anakin a master, they don't put him on the council, and he's like, literally, that's never happened before.
No, it's the other way around. They will put him on the council, but not make him a
Oh,
master.
the same thing, the other
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah. 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 So he is a Jedi Master, but he's not on the council. Obi-Wan is on the council. Not in this movie, but he gets on the council.
Yes.
We're with
Okay.
it.
I saw. Okay, I kind of agree with that only because I feel like there are a lot of moments like reminiscent of A New Hope, and I feel like this part, like just rewatching it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi right there, where he's like, okay, time to die, and he looks back and he's like, peace out, and then he gets sliced in half and then force away and comes back
Mm,
later,
yeah.
so powerful than you could ever imagine. Like same thing, and then yeah, I had other thoughts, but
Amazing.
that's really what I thought was thinking.
Amazing. The what I remembered about this movie was pod racing, and that was it. Um, however, something that I was pleasantly surprised to re-remember was Jar Jar Binks.
You didn't remember that?
Well, I was always somebody who was like, I always liked Jar Jar Binks, but I forgot he was in this one.
I
Like,
always thought he comes in the second one, but he does not.
yeah, this is like his movie. Because he's in the other ones because becomes friends with Padme and then
Yeah,
Padme puts him in the Senate or whatever.
I always thought it was stupid. Okay, Jar Jar. He's banished from his a secret underwater city. His whole civilization has banished him because he has caused multiple accidents by being clumsy. That's his bit, right? He comes back. He's about to be sentenced to death for coming back. They stop him because they're like, okay, your life belongs to him. Whatever. Then he like makes this relationship with the Jedi and they're like, you know what? That went so well, you can become a general. Now he's a general in the battle and messes up the whole time. I mean, it's a little bit, he does a little bit of good things, but he's still messing up the whole time. Padme takes him back. He becomes, I don't remember what his role is, but then when she leaves in the second movie, he takes her place in the Senate for a temporary amount of time.
People are like, Jar Jar Binks is the cause of the Empire because he's the one he Padme puts him in his spot and then he appoints Palpatine to
Yeah.
hey, he's just vibing. He doesn't know what's going on. I'm not down with
I
the Jar Jar Sith Lord theory. I think that's Complete yes,
No.
because he's just clumsy. He doesn't know what's going on. He accidentally appoints Palpatine, the one guy who shouldn't be in power. Listen,
Not the one guy who shouldn't be. There were probably a handful of guys that shouldn't have been
the
in
guy
power.
who shouldn't be in power.
Oh, okay, okay.
But what I do
If we're
love
being so
is
fair though, Palpatine was already manipulating Padme to making these make pretty much to put himself there anyway. I
it
think that
wasn't
would
him
happen anyway.
manipulating, you know? I also forgot Palpatine was in this movie. To me, Palpatine is a Revenge of the Sith character and then also a original trilogy character. But only episode 5. Forgot not episode 4. I totally okay. To me, Palpatine was like showed up later and I forgot he was even in the earlier I kind of remembered him in Revenge of the Sith because he's like important. But other than that, I was just like, oh yeah, he's not around. But he's very much around.
I
He's
same
like
thing.
the
I have
main
a
guy.
question. So he is Emperor Palpatine. He's
Mm,
also Darth Sidious.
mm.
When the prequels came out, did people know that he was Palpatine? Like, does he go by? He's just like Chancellor,
Yes.
but then
So I had the same questions. I actually like throughout um was it
I
episode
I asked
one or
somebody and
two
they
or
said
three.
no, but I feel like that doesn't make sense.
Well, because is he ever called Darth Sidious in
That
four,
that's
five, or
what that was
six?
my thing. I was like, they don't call him that, so they must have
Yeah.
just known
I think they were trying to keep it secret because every time Palpatine was around, like
that would
he
cover his
was
face.
cloaked up, yeah. So he was trying
That's
to
why I'm
keep it
like,
a secret that Darth Sidious was Palpatine, and then they had to like
also, but he
make
looks
him
just like him. There's no other
yeah,
guy with that chin around. Like,
yeah. Um oh yeah. I can't remember which movie I was thinking this in, but I remember thinking to myself, oh wait. Uh, uh, um oh, I wrote it down. I wrote it down. I want to get the exact wording right because it's freaking ridiculous. Hold on, wait for it. Wait for it, wait.
I'm waiting.
Okay, yes. Wait. No, never mind. Hold on. Wait for it.
Wait for
Wait.
it.
Wait.
Should have pulled this up earlier.
No. Well, I have all of my notes in the same spot, so I just can't find the one note. But I'll give you
Too
the
many
gist. I'll give
notes.
you the gist. It was because I'm the kind of person who, while you're watching a movie, I'll think of like, oh, do you think this was in the script? Or, oh, do you think if there's like a big trilogy or a series or whatever, I'm like, do you think they planned everything out before they got here? Like Harry Potter, everything was planned out before book one was written. So I was thinking as I was watching these movies, I was like, do you think they planned for like this stuff to happen? But then I was like, Hannah, you're literally so stupid. Episode 4, 5, and 6 came out before these ones.
They
I was like, you're dumb as
did.
dirt. They definitely did plan
They
that.
did it in reverse. Do you think they planned this out? It's
I was
crazy.
like, oh my gosh, I can't believe because I thought that I think it might have been the beginning of episode 2 or something. Something happened that like plays into something that happens in 4, 5, or 6. If I find the note, I can tell you exactly what it was. But so I remember thinking to myself, oh, they like pre-planned this that it would coincide. And then maybe 30 minutes later within the same movie, I was like, Hannah, you're so stupid. Of course they planned this on purpose. This is technically like movie 6 in the Oh, I was like I'm the dumbest boy alive.
The dumbest boy alive.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm gonna find the note like in an hour and be like back about it. Oh, it was.
I'll be
I also
here.
forgot about the like the frog people.
What
Love
do you
those
mean?
guys.
The frog people?
The frog people, they're They show up a little bit in the other movies where they're like in the Senate or
Oh yeah, the evil
with
guys
like
who are
frog.
just like
Yeah, yeah. But they're like low-key bad guys. Forgot about them entirely. And then um Ewan McGregor is so young in this movie.
he's got that baby face.
Got that baby face. It's always so funny to me
That's
for
why,
no
okay, when
reason.
when I saw him in the first one, so when he's in the second and then the third one, I'm like, yes, perfect casting. He looks just like Obi-Wan. He does not look like Obi-Wan in the first one. I'm like, did they baby him up? Or did they see this guy and he's like, yep, this is the one?
They just knew. They just knew.
But like, I don't know. Don't know if I would have casted him for that first one. But he's so good in the next one.
Yeah. What I do love about this movie, uh, really about the first three, lightsaber battle right off the bat in this one. The
Yes,
lights, the
the battles
battles,
are so good.
they're so good. Like, I was watching the first three, and especially like this one's right off the bat. I think from episode one, two, three, each time there gets more lightsaber fights and better lightsaber fights in the first three. And then you look at four, five, and six, and you're like, what even happened? They have one lightsaber battle in episode four,
Four,
and
five,
that's
and
it, and
six,
it's not even that
they
good.
they have lightsaber battles. I think they're just like key moments, and the rest of the stuff happens because they have lightsaber battles. But obviously, there's not many Jedi to battle between.
You're
And
so
then
right.
in the last ones, again, I've not seen nine, so I don't know what happens in that one. But seven and eight, zero. I mean, there's some. I don't like the battles. There's bring back the lightsabers.
The lightsaber battles are so good in one, two, three. And I'll say also like because they figured it out. They figured it out after. So then also like the shows that have come out after one, two, three with Jedi's in it, also so good. They upped their game with the lightsaber battles and yeah. Um
It's pretty good.
yeah. So
Yeah.
into the story. R2D2 and C3PO meet for the first time. In my mind, these people are always best friends.
Okay, so when
These
I was
droids.
doing a rewatch, I thought that R2D2 was built by Anakin and C3PO was Padme's droid, but it is the other way around, and they
Mm-hmm.
switch later. But
Yeah.
I thought it was the other way around because okay, C3PO built by Anakin stays on Tatooine. He gets him back in the second movie when they go back. He comes back. Then they lose them again, and they get in the Republican stuff. Padme has them, loses them, gets to Leia, loses them, gets to Luke, loses them, gets back to the Republic, sticks around for a bit. They lose him again, goes back to the Republic. That's
Okay.
kind of weird.
Yeah, because I feel like R2D2 and Anakin are besties.
Yeah, that's why I thought they were built. I always thought that, and then I did a rewatch, and I was like, "What? That he was built? He's what?"
Remember when we were doing the episode with episode four and we were talking about, we were like, it doesn't make any sense. I thought R2D2 already knew each other. Why are they like meeting for the first time again? And then like, why did Luke get sent to Tatooine with supposedly a family, even though Anakin had no family? And then Leia got, remember,
Yeah. So
we,
I forgot about the he has a step family.
yeah, all of those questions could have been answered if we watched these three first.
Yeah. Okay. Though here is my question. They Padme has a kid. Surprise! It's two kids.
Hmm.
The Alderaan people are like, don't worry. we can take a kid. We've always wanted a daughter. We can take her, and we'll keep her hidden and secret. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. They then then they're like, Obi-Wan, you take the other guy. Here you go. And he's like, I think Anakin has some family on top. I think I'm gonna go hide and like learn the ways of the Jedi and stuff. Learn how to become a ghosty, and I'll just go do it on Tatooine. And but I won't raise him. I'll give him to like his family. Does does everyone else not know that Anakin is Darth Vader? Like, would they not be like, let's go check out Darth Vader's family in Tatooine? Like, Darth Vader knows that he has family.
Yes. But I don't think he cares about them. He's only because his mom dies, and so
Yeah.
everybody's just like step or half or whatever, half or step. But because he keeps so I just finished rewatching the Kenobi show, and Vader does keep a secret that he is Anakin. There are a few people that do know, like Palpatine obviously knows, and Kenobi knows. So and like um people who knew Anakin and like and the whole Order 66 stuff, no. But like that's a very small group and he keeps it hidden because there are parts in the Kenobi show where he's like basically the plot of the Kenobi show is he's trying to hunt down Kenobi. Um and then at the end people are like why are you so Palpatine's like maybe you should like let this Kenobi thing go, and he's like, people will start to wonder why you're so invested in Kenobi, and then they'll like figure out that you're Anakin. So he like is keeping it a secret that he is Anakin.
Okay. Okay.
But
Weird.
in Phantom Menace, we learned that Anakin was conceived by the midichlorians.
The Force was his dad. I've
Yeah.
always thought that was funny. We had we used to have a bookshelf of like a bunch of Star Wars books, and one of the things we had was like a Star Wars family tree of a bunch of random characters. One of them was Luke, and it goes all the way back, and it says the Force, not like midichlorians, but it says the Force was his dad. Like it has the little tree, and it's like Shmi Force. And I thought that was the funniest thing ever. I was like,
The
it's
Force
just
is
like a
his
blue
dad.
circle, like the Force was his dad.
Yeah, they're like he has more midichlorian. His midichlorian count is more than anybody I've ever seen, like more than Yoda. I was like, so Anakin is the Jedi Jesus? Is that what we're saying?
He's the chosen one.
Is the chosen one? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It seems it seems like it seems to me like George Lucas was like, we need this to be no questions asked situation. Like it
They
was the midichlorians, the
they're like they
Force.
send Qui-Gon to go like check out this guy, and they're like, "Oh, we came back with the like slave boy that he got while he was betting on pod racing."
Yeah.
That instead of like, I feel like there's a million ways Jedi can make money, and instead he was like, let's bet on the kid." Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. Yeah. I love when Anakin and Obi-Wan meet for the first time because I know the future of their relationship. So that's why I think it's fun to rewatch big series like this because they've come so far.
when they meet, I always thought that Obi-Wan was with them when they were doing all the pod racing stuff, but he's not. He's back in the ship. When they
Yeah.
meet, what Anakin says, he's like, "Hi, are you a Jedi too? Oh my gosh, that's so cool!" Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. That's crazy. They're meeting. Also, here's one thing I've always remembered since my first rewatch of the first movie. I remember is how old is Padme in the first movie? Because
Okay.
Anakin's like 7.
Uh okay. Yes. I specifically this is the age-old question. What is the age difference between Anakin and Padme? Because
Because
there's some
it could be like
questionable activity going on.
he could be like 7 and she could be like 19, or he could be like 11 and she could be like 14, 15.
That is the case. They have a 5 year. difference. In the first movie, Padme is 14 and Anakin is 9.
14? She does not look
14 and
14.
9. But
I
like
have,
he
okay, another question. Padme has a fake, like a pretend person pretending to be the queen, but
yes.
she continues to pretend to be the queen in situations where the queen's words, like, have to be specific or carry meaning. Like, to what extent is Padme acting as the queen? Like,
Uh yeah. Well, like I know there's communication between them, but not always. So I don't know. Like it's probably another Jar Jar situation. She just tells her to do what she thinks is good. But like I was thinking when they go to Jar Jar's like his leader or whatever, and they're trying to convince him to like be on their side and help them. She has her surrogate talking and then she like steps out and she's like, "Actually, I'm the real queen." And everybody's like, "What?"
and then she continues to say the exact same things.
Yeah, I'm like, she didn't need to reveal herself right there. Like I feel like this was like
Also, when they are fighting and they're like, "We need the queen's signature, or else what's her face? They won't join the war, whatever." They have just taken this? They were like, "That's the surrogate. We need the real queen." Why not take the surrogate queen? They already pretended they didn't see the Jedi. They could just be like, "We, this was the real queen that signed this." So
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the extent of all that because she only uses the surrogate in 1 and 2, I think. Well, it's because she stops being the queen and she just
yeah,
goes to the Senate. I think
that's
that's
why
what it
I'm
is.
confused.
Listen, I forgot how much these movies are just about politics and war.
It's called Star Wars.
I know, but politics also is like the
That's
first three
what
is just
war is.
politics.
Is
I
what
just listen, listen, I just forgot. It's all war, it's all politics and war propaganda. And to me, in my mind, it was just like lightsaber battles. So
you can't have one without the other.
you're so right. I didn't think of it that way. You know who also is super young in this movie, and it really puts me on edge?
What?
Yoda.
He's not super young in this movie.
He's like all young and
He's
spry.
younger.
Yeah, he's still old, but like
He
he's
he
like,
should he should still look 400,
yeah,
but he doesn't.
yeah.
Being
It's the
on that
CGI
swamp
that really
aged
de-ages
himself.
him. But but
He
the way he
looks
like moves
really
around,
young in the Clone Wars.
yeah, the way he like moves around and talks and interacts, I'm like, Yoda is he's needs to be older than this. Like he's too spry
I
and
I
like,
think Swamp Yoda probably moved like that until he was about to die,
yeah, well, yeah.
even when he looked old.
Well, okay, well, here's the thing. Well, I don't know. It's the way he like talks, I think he needs to have like some age in his voice.
There are several moments in especially the second one where Yoda talks and he doesn't do his little backwards thing and I'm like, "Who are you? You are Yoda?" No. Like,
Yeah. It's just I don't know, it just puts me on edge a little bit. I can't
okay.
exactly put my finger on
Call
it.
up George Lucas, tell him you have complaints.
Yeah. Bring back Puppet Yoda
Puppet Yoda would have been a lot harder to do those
battles.
backflips and like
Yeah. Imagine the
it
big
would have
fight with
been dope though.
him and Palpatine with Puppet Yoda.
That would have been dope.
Yeah. I'll also with the lightsaber battles, they've upped their game with the lightsaber battles, but something that I think needs to be implemented more is the use of the Force.
Yes. Okay, what is this from? It might be from How It Should Have Ended, where they're like, "Force grab your lightsaber. Force turn your lightsaber off. Force turn your lightsaber on." Like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
Force took your gun. Like,
yeah. The bad guys use it more than the good guys. So I think there needs to be some good like Because there are so many cool things you can do with the Force. But like,
In, I believe it's the second one, Yoda catches a falling pillar. The catch saves the boys. He catches a
hmm
falling pillar. But in New Hope, he's like, size don't matter. And always I've been like, well, quite obviously it does. In all of these other situations where they struggle to lift the heavier things, was he just telling that to like train him to get him in the state of mind where like you could do whatever? But I've always
maybe.
been like, he said it didn't matter. But then he obviously they're struggling to do the big stuff. Like
Well,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter. Why don't you pick up that spaceship? We don't need a spaceship to fly. Just force zoom it through the space. Like
Yeah,
it would take a
the
while,
use of the
but
Force, I feel like the good guys use Force as a necessity, and the bad guys are just using the Force. Like, use the Force more often. You can do some cool things with the Force. I think, again, in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, there are some Force things being used, especially with the battles between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Stuff goes down in that battle.
I've not seen Kenobi. I do think the coolest usage of the Force, period, is Force taking out your lightsaber with your hand in front of you. Like, like
Oh,
they
yeah, yeah,
don't do
yeah.
that nearly enough. I
I
love
see.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
I
just
would
think
do that every
oh,
time.
the
Why wouldn't you do
Force.
that every time?
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Some cameos in this movie. Warwick Davis made an appearance. Are you familiar?
Maybe? Question mark?
He is Professor Flitwick.
Yes. Wait, which one?
Both of them.
Both of them.
Yeah, he just has a lot of costume and makeup in the
Oh,
in.
I thought it was a different guy.
No, same guy. Why would they get a
Really?
new guy?
I always thought they got a new guy. That's why I thought it was a big deal. It was like,
No,
oh, guess they didn't like him.
he plays every dwarf character ever. So you only need one guy. He makes it because he's one of the Ewoks. So they put him in a cameo. He's in one of the crowd scenes in the pod racing.
Mm,
And then
I wasn't
also
really picking through the crowd when I was
you can
watching
see him.
that.
Well, they do it's kind of a close up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A close up
Um,
cameo.
yeah. They just zoom in on what things. In one of the Senate scenes, I don't remember, couldn't tell you the character name, but I was I was looking down at my puzzle and I hear somebody start to talk and I go, this is the butler from Haunted Mansion. And sure enough,
She
it
has that
was.
voice ingrained in her
I
mind.
know that voice.
The butler from the show or like the butler from the Haunted Mansion?
The Haunted Mansion, my favorite Haunted Mansion, the OG.
Oh, I thought you meant like the
A
ride,
ride?
the
No,
narrator.
no,
It's
no,
the
no.
show that you like. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
The movie.
He's one of the bad guys, Senate's. Couldn't tell you his character,
I feel
but
like
I was like,
that's like equivalent to like the the night bus guy being a Death Eater. Like that's the same thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was, I was like, I know this voice. This movie, overall, it had some great things to it. Again, I don't think I don't think it's a bad movie. However, of the first three, I think it is my least favorite.
I'll agree with that. Both things. Bam, bam. Two agreements.
Boom. Um, I did get a little sad when he had to leave his mom. Touched me right here in the feels.
I think he did it like with no hesitation. He was like, "You're leaving. You're afraid from slavery." He's like, "Is my mom afraid from slavery?" And he's like, "No, go get your things." He's like, "Okay, see, I'm leaving. C-3PO, see ya. I'm gonna go be a Jedi." Like,
The chosen one. He wanted out. He was tired of being a slave. Yeah, it's a good. Yeah, I love that we meet all of the characters, um, that we need to meet, I think. Do we meet Mace Windu in this one?
yeah, he's on the council.
I know. So we meet everybody. It's a good one. And the last thing I'll say about this movie is Roger Roger.
Roger, Roger.
Roger Roger.
I love
Love
those
those
guys.
guys.
My favorite thing is like the on Instagram when they like cover songs. I love that.
What?
Have you ever heard one of those? It's like they sing songs and it's those guys.
Droids?
Yeah,
No.
I'll send you some. They're pretty good.
Okay. The funniest droid army is led by the funniest droid leader. The Roger Roger droids are led by General Grievous. Hilarious.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. Don't you worry, Becca. I have thoughts on General Grievous.
I also have thoughts.
Perfect,
Well,
perfect,
I will
amazing.
save them though because today we're only talking about the first one. We got off track.
Any little any final thoughts on the Phantom Menace? I feel like
Oh, the poster is little Anakin with his
mm,
shadow being Darth Vader, which I think is nice for
wait,
the
what?
overarching. That's the poster. It's little Anakin with his shadow being the silhouette of Darth Vader. That is the poster. Um,
I think I'm
but
let me
I'm
see.
correct. I know I am
What
correct.
what are you talking about?
I know I am correct. It's little Anakin, and his shadow is Darth Vader. No,
This is
different poster. Different
this is the only
poster.
poster I
Different
know.
poster.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on.
But anyway, that poster I feel like is a good poster, but every time I see it, I'm like, okay, but he doesn't even turn into Darth Vader in that one. Like you have to watch the other movies to get the poster. Let me pull up the poster.
He's
Let
not
me
even in
freaking
that one.
hold on, hold on.
Oh, this one?
I
It's
believe so.
you can't
It's
really
kind
see
of
it on
yeah.
the screen. It's really bright.
I think it is that.
The shadow that you can't see in this is Darth Vader. I see what you're
That's the
saying.
poster that shows up when we watch it at home.
Oh, okay.
But I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
only
if you ain't seen I was like,
but
I
you
don't know.
ain't seen Star Wars. Well, obviously that
This
isn't
is
the movie poster because this is the movie poster.
I okay, but I swear that was the movie poster. I might be
No, I
wrong.
never seen that
That's
poster until
that's
today.
the poster that shows up when we watch it at our house.
Well, we have a weird system, okay?
It's true. They just change out the posters all the freaking time. We have
Yeah,
like the anniversary posters and they change them and like I don't know.
yeah. I'm gonna give this movie a, and these may be skewed because I'm in my Star Wars era,
Bro,
7.5 out of 10.
that's a lot. Okay. I think the problem with me rating this movies, and also we've already agreed that my ratings are skewed, is because like although I didn't regularly rewatch the prequels are like oddly nostalgic for me. Even though I've literally only seen them the first two twice, and the rest I saw in school. But
Mm,
like I like watching them, and I'm like, oh, it's like maybe it's because we had a lot of Star Wars stuff. Like we have plates with like little pod racing Anakin on it, and like cups and things, and I don't know. It just seems very like 90s to me, and I love the vibe. Even though only one of the movies came out in the night, I
just
same,
barely,
just
just
barely.
barely.
I don't know. I like the vibes, and so I'm inclined to rate them higher, even though I don't think they're excellent movies. Even though I do
Mm.
think they're good movies. I'm talking too much. I'm gonna rate it a 7 out of 10.
Oh, okay. That is high for you.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I would watch it again. It's got
Incredible.
good battles. I hate when Padme is the queen and she's like, oh no, the Senate is taking over. No, my people are dying. You have to save them. Terrible.
Yeah, yeah, I
But that's
remember
that's
her
the only
being
thing
boring.
rewatching it where I don't like Padme to begin with, but I
Oh,
think that's rewatching it. That's the only thing that like bugged me.
mm,
So like it's a good rewatchable thing. You
yeah,
know
yeah. Hey, well, I feel like we've all learned something today.
what's that? Y-
You learned the age difference between Padme and Anakin, and I learned that you hate Padme.
Yeah, I've never liked her. Okay, actually, hold on.
Oh gosh.
In, no, this is for the second one. I can't talk.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
remind me later.
All right, we better go then.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.